Garo is evolving. In Season 2 of One Punch Man, things have been fairly rough for our boy Garo. He's been fighting a lot of people, in particular, as of late, Metal Bat, then from Metal Bat, engaged in combat with Watchdog Man, and Watchdog Man apparently beat him. Then after facing off against Watchdog Man, he just so happens to stumble across our boy King, who is, of course, being protected under the wing of Saitama Dog, the most powerful entity in the universe. And Saitama makes quick work of Garo, and now Garo has to deal with 8 heroes total, led by Death Gatling. 4 A class and 4 B class heroes. And normally this wouldn't be a big deal to Garo, normally, but considering his condition, it's life and death. And these heroes aren't pulling any punches. And Garo has to go well past his mental and physical limits to take them on and be successful, which he does. Now in the process, Shooter, one of the B-class heroes, the archer, he does tag Garo with poison arrows, which after a period of time do start to effective, but Garo muscles through nonetheless. Garo is able to take care of the A ranks, take care of the B ranks, ultimately block the death shower of Death Gatling and beat him too. And Garo thinks he's clean. Garo thinks he can finally walk away and recover from his wounds. No, our boy Glasses was still conscious. He sent an emergency signal out. In comes the demon cyborg, Jenos. He fights against Jenos for a period of time, and make no mistake, Jenos does have the upper hand. It is what it is, but bang swoops in, Might Guy style, dynamic entry, and now we're about to see Bang versus the disciple, the Human Hunter Garo. Garo has faced several walls in the past few episodes of One Punch Man. Clearly, several tremendous walls, physically and mentally, and Garo still persists. He beat Metal Bat in a sense, he did, but Watchdog Man was superior, and he was able to take Watchdog Man's style of fighting and overwhelm Jenos for a few seconds. But Jenos still had the upper hand because Jenos also got stronger after his loss, and his equipment is now top notch. He even calls Garo a small fry, and Garo gets mad at that. And after some dialogue, Garo says at the end of that dialogue, the ultimate monster is right here, so why are you concerning yourself with the Monsters Association? And Genos says there is no such thing. So Genos is stating right then and there that there's no such thing as the ultimate monster. But later on, he does mention Master Saitama. And this piques Garo's interest. Master Saitama? Who was this S-rank hero calling someone else a master? And then Genos says, Master Saitama is the ultimate hero. He does exist. He is the reality. So notice how, in a sense, Garo is almost like an anti-Saitama, where Saitama had overcome the limits of a human being. He trained so hard, his joints were making these weird sounds. He trained so hard where the pain was unbearable. He fought against monsters time and time again. Whenever it was cold outside, he never put on the heat. When it was hot, he never put on the AC. He overcame all these obstacles, sticking to the regiment day in and day out. And then finally one day, he lost his hair and he became incomprehensibly powerful. In a very similar way, Garo is overcoming these hurdles, fighting all these heroes to the brink, overcoming the walls. He was poisoned, and he still continued to fight while he was poisoned. He's been stabbed and shot, hit by very powerful attacks, and still Garo continues to persist. All he wants is some water at the end of the fight against the 8 heroes. And in comes Jenos, an S-rank hero, to fight him one-on-one. Even then he can't get a break because in comes Bang. And yet still Garo persists, evolving after each loss, after each extreme situation, becoming better and better, very similar to Saitama. When Jenos mentions that there is no such thing as the ultimate monster, but the ultimate hero does exist, maybe the ultimate hero does need to fight an ultimate monster. And we're seeing our boy Garo slowly climb up the ranks. Saitama himself has stated that he yearns, he seeks for an opponent that can actually challenge him truly. But unfortunately, no one has been able to give Saitama the challenge that he desperately seeks. Not even Lord Boros, all right? The dominator of the universe, not even Lord Boros was a challenge for Saitama. But remember, before Saitama became the ultimate hero, Saitama fought against monsters, life and death situations, and overcame them as a quote-unquote regular human. And he became stronger, and he muscled through. Even though he fought against monsters, he still maintained the regiment. He still saved lives. That's how King's life was saved way back when. Just how Saitama sought to be a hero, Garo seeks to be a monster. And the only difference here is that Garo right now, he's at the beginning stages of his evolution, while Saitama has completed his evolution and has broken through every wall, surpassed humanity. The limits that God puts on Saitama have been broken. And Garo, the potential soon-to-be ultimate monster, when his eyes become red and bloodshot, when we see the blood seep through his hair, and now his hair looks red, Garo looks like a beast. Garo looks like a demon. And you can say here and now that Garo has taken the first genuine step to truly becoming a monster. When that boy that Garo's always with, when he ran away from Garo, after seeing Garo's aura, and Garo reached out towards him but pulled his hand away, you can say that was symbolic of Garo letting go of some part of him. Since Garo was reaching out for a child, maybe you can say Garo was letting go of his innocence, potentially. Understanding that at this point there's no turning back. Garo has to become a monster. A monster wouldn't care for a child. In fact, monsters, they would do the opposite. They would hurt children. And maybe Garo putting down his hand is symbolic of him realizing that to an extent. Not saying that he's completely a monster, because there's still a ways to go to being a monster, a bloodthirsty killer. But Garo is willing to let some part of him go for the sake of achieving the goal and ambition that he has in his mind, becoming the ultimate monster, the king of monsters. And the Monster Association, they see the potential in Garo, and they want him to join the upper echelon of their ranks. But Garo's evolution will continue. There is no mistaking that. Another key example of the strain that Garo's going through, just by Garo taking a martial arts stance against Bang, blood was spewing from his body, just by simply taking the stance. So what happens between Bang, Silverfang, and Garo is going to be fairly interesting. Given that short flashback that we saw of Bang meeting Garo for the first time at the end of the last episode, can Bang really overcome his master-pupil relationship with Garo? Can he really put down Garo? Is that possible? Or at least bring him into a prison? Can Bang do this? Will Bang be able to take down his disciple, his former disciple? Or will Garo once again overcome? Will Garo once again break through walls? Will Garo once again become stronger? Because at the end of the day, you can see the buildup. And the buildup is not for Garo to fall here. No. Oh, no. But it looks like our boy Saitama will be the one to face down Garo, whatever Garo is, at the end of the day. Normally, you eat monster cells to become a monster, at least with the case of the Monster Association. And the amount of power that you can achieve is tremendous. But Garo doesn't need that. Garo is doing it the old-fashioned way. And the old-fashioned way seems to be super effective. But that's it. This is Garo's monster evolution. And I'm going to catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
Saitama sensei.